Hi guys, it's Minx here. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Burokku Girls. Me and Manly.
Burokku.
What's that say again? Sorry, Manly. What do you call it?
Burokku.
Burokku. What does that
It's
that
basically a
means?
racist like name because it's like it's basically block, but like in Japanese, English.
Oh, you're so. I
Get
never
it?
know these things. I never know.
Yeah.
Burokku Girls. So yeah, this is You like video games, don't you, Manly?
I hate video
But
games.
there's one you like called Minecraft.
Minecraft's not a game; it's a life experience you kind of invest
Oh,
yourself
okay, okay.
into.
Well, this is a game about that life experience. I know it's about a game called I don't know what it's called, but it's like Minecraft, but obviously it's not exactly Minecraft because
So this is essentially a visual novel about that one time I cybered with those random people who joined my Minecraft
pretty
server.
much. Although my section here is going to take place before we go into the Minecraft world. If you want to see the Minecraft world, you're going to have to head over to Manly's channel, because before we go into the Minecraft world, something happens that I wanted to share with everyone. So should we jump into the game?
We should just jump into those things there. Yeah.
So, what we have here is the scientific laboratory where my dad here in the middle, this is our father, and has been working on a exciting new virtual reality experience. Manly. And we have our mother there. She looks happy on the right. And then we have Dr. Candy, who's a very qualified doctor, I'm sure. Our dad's assistant on the left.
She's a candy doctor.
Mhm. Mhm.
She checks the pulses of like cotton candy and stuff.
I learned the hard way it was never in anybody's interest to get involved in one of my parents' discussions. They usually settle things on their own sooner or later, no use in me throwing fuel on their fire. Takeshi, please set the case.
Takashi.
Takeshi, sorry. Please set the case down so I can straighten your father up. Clean up like a civilized human being or make progress on a major project that will change the world of gaming and make us lots of money. I guess you're right, my priorities are awfully skewed, and what is that? It's a little
That's
something
my
called
penis.
soap. They're arguing about the fact that my dad has been like working and not cleaning as well.
She's just gotta come in like just scrub them to death in here.
Yeah. Basically, what's gonna happen? We're gonna skip through this bit a little bit. I didn't
Take
realize.
showers? Oh, look, showers.
Yeah, I thought there was a bit less of this scene than was expected. Anyway, they're gonna go off and I don't know, have sex and get clean and stuff. But meanwhile, they're gonna leave me behind. What about me? You don't expect me to leave you alone in this lab now, do you? Our project. Oh, for goodness sake, Josh. Don't you think you're taking things a bit too far with the whole top secret project you've been working on? It's just some new game.
Not any new game. It's a sex
Just
game.
some new game. Just some new game? Maybe you talk about the next generation of gaming technology, a quantum leap in the world of video games.
And besides, university has made it very clear that they don't want to take any chances of a security leak. We're under contract to keep this a secret.
So I guess someone needs to stay behind and supervise me. You know?
Like, don't we already know the secret though? Like, what does like leaving change?
I don't know. I mean, they know I know they're working on a game, so what
Well,
the fuck is the point?
we're like hack into their computers when they're not looking and like steal the data code.
Exactly. So why you can imagine why I don't want to leave him here unsupervised. Apparently, we're really untrustworthy. At these words, I noticed Candy's eyes seemed to light up right before a devious smile quirked her lips.
That's what I call her
But
candy.
these things disappeared almost as quickly as they appeared, even as she shifted about and put on a look of pure pureness. This is written
Because
well.
she's naturally an escort. That's true. But, if it makes you feel better, I could keep an eye on Takashi for you.
This caught my parents' attention, as well as prompting a muted groan from me. For while it was true that an unguarded opportunity to scope out Dad's lab was precisely what I'd been hoping for, I'd also been hoping for the opportunity to be completely unguarded. Candy just made it clear she shared my father's desire to keep this project a secret, and it was obvious she had other plans in mind for enjoying my company. You sure you can manage that, Candy? No offence, but I know my son. He'd be quite a handful when he puts his mind to it. She could be quite a handful as well, I'm sure.
We both can be quite handfuls when we grab my dick. Hopefully. Of course, Professor. Am I allowed to say that on your channel?
Yeah.
Penis?
Yeah, no, I'll probably have to bleep you out. I'll probably replace it with rainbow or something like that.
Fungdungle. Besides, I'm sure you're worrying over nothing. After all, Takashi's always struck me as being quite the gentleman.
There, it's settled then.
Bye!
Bye! And so they leave. They just fuck off. Don't worry, you're leaving your son with possibly a dangerous sex predator, but it's fine.
Depending how old we are, oh, we're probably 18.
Yeah, I'm
Technically, that would make her a sex predator, yeah,
yeah.
by legal reasons. But don't worry, Professor. I'm sure I can keep Takashi suitably
She
distracted.
does. Trying very hard not to pay attention to Candy's last statement, I simply watched as Mum escorted Dad out the lab, with him still protesting the idea of leaving me in the lab. For despite Candy's reassurances, he was certain that doing so was tantamount to leaving a pack of starving wolves inside a henhouse. Okay, so before I could even consider where to start snooping around, I once again felt two voluminous masses of feminine flesh pressing hard against my back, hot breathing upon my neck, and two slender arms snaking about my upper torso. This moves quickly, this one.
So this is the second time she's done
Well,
this?
she kind of greets him with a quick, like a quick sort of like finger in the arsehole sort of thing,
Oh. So a Johnny Rocket. No, wait, that's the other thing. It's a spelunker. A spelunker is the correct term. And here I thought they'd never leave.
At this, I felt my entire body going rigid, with certain portions even more so. Dr. Hughes? Candy Hughes.
Call me Candy. What did I tell you, Takashi? Call me Candy, and pass a 20 to me. Right here.
Jumping slightly at the way Candy was speaking with a tone of voice that was well past the flirting stage, I quickly pulled out of her grasp and turned to face her.
Don't forget the cover charge.
Candy, what are you... Candy just smiled that much more deeply as she opened her lab coat a bit more, giving me an even better view of her exquisite hourglass of a figure.
I don't think it's an hourglass anymore.
It's just like,
It's just like you took the two wide parts of the hourglass and just shoved them together.
It's like an hourglass, but only on the top half of the body, and
Pretty
a
much.
horizontal hourglass.
Isn't it obvious? I'm doing precisely what I told the professor I'd do. I'm keeping you distracted.
I'm pretty sure this isn't what my dad had in mind.
I'm pretty sure it was. He never said that I couldn't.
I considered arguing at this point, but Candy closed the gap between us. I realised there was no point in that, so I decided to try a different tactic. Shouldn't you lock the door and, Mum and Dad will be back soon, right?
The door locked automatically, so that's no problem. And as for the professor, man, she timed this bullshit. I'd say it'd take about 5 minutes or longer to get to the nearest shower. At least 10 minutes for him to get cleaned up and dressed, and all the rest of it. And another 5 minutes to get back here. There's plenty of time for fun. 15 minutes total. I've wanted to get my hands on you for quite a
No
while.
idea how old this character is, by the way. Jesus. I was about to protest this, but even as I sputtered and stuttered, Candy reached up to the front of her shirt, took hold of the boundaries around the buttons, and with a grin, ripped the top open.
What kind of candy do you think she'd be? Like 2 marshmallows or
I
what?
reckon she'd be. I think her nipples are shaped like those bears from Haribo packs.
Oh, bears. Okay. That's a unique trait.
Yeah. Causing my eyes to bulge and jaw to drop as her enormous endowments bounced a bit more. They do bounce, and there's
Pretty sure those
bouncing
things aren't
sounds
bouncing
as well
anymore.
in the game.
Really?
Yeah, continue to bounce about in their bras. They strode up to me. Candy, I don't think we should be... Candy planted her lips squarely upon my own, cut me off. A firm, potent kiss that caused the heat to rise through my entire body. And while we were in contact for only a second or so, it felt a lot longer to me.
They call me Candy. Kane.
Oh, that's disappointing. I jumped back and off her like I just found my hands as an open... I'm sorry, I can't read today, guys. I jumped back and off of her like I had just found my hands on an open fire. No, I can read. It's just written... It just doesn't make sense.
I jump back and off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Candy, no. This is a really bad idea.
Really? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like this is a... Well, it looks like you think this is a great idea. Or at least part of you does. You know, the cane.
Wincing in realizations, I felt my own body straining inside my clothes in response to all this stimulation. I tried very hard to figure out what the heck I should do. Unfortunately, Candy was quick to take advantage of my hesitation and once again glided up to me. While I was still stuttering and sputtering, she took hold of my wrist and guided my hands around her sumptuous form.
Now, Takashi. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable.
Well, you're succeeding anyway. This is, I mean, let's be honest here. This is borderline rape, at least sexual assault, because he's not really into it, and she's just like continuing. But actually, men can't be raped or sexually assaulted, so it's fine.
It's double standard sexual assault.
My God, go on. Well, he's succeeding anyway.
Put a little political commentary.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
But I really do find you quite attractive. Sort of like your father in a way. Are you fucking my dad?
She's licking her lips as well. Nice notice there.
I don't think she's ever stopped licking her lips.
She's perpetually licking. It's all the candy smeared around her face.
Yep. Except you take better care of yourself, and you're not all retaken. At least, the professor never mentioned you having a girlfriend.
The tactical thrust took me by surprise.
Wow.
I mean, well, I'm a big exercise enthusiast, but I'm not obsessive with games to the point where I let my entire body wither away to nothing, so I do keep in shape.
People reading this probably feel bad.
And she had a point. I didn't have a girlfriend. Yeah, you fat fucks. She had a point. I didn't have a girlfriend. Well, no, but still, this is awfully fast, don't you think?
Maybe. But since you hardly ever come to the university, I thought I'd make the most of the opportunity.
Before I could say anything to counter this, Candy again placed her lips upon my own and kissed me.
Her shirt suddenly got open again.
And not just a kiss, but a kiss.
What size shirt do you think she has to buy for those things?
I mean, I reckon they're like G.
I think they're more than that.
Really? I'm not actually an expert. I mean, you think as a lesbian I would know about breast sizes, but I'm not that much of an expert because my boobs aren't that big. Like I'm only like a B, so.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty anime size right there. You get like an anime measurements.
I reckon she must have serious back problems.
Yeah, no, not realistic. You know, while we're killing the mood.
I would have to admit, while we're killing the rape.
Well, you know, we'll talk about that.
I would have had to be pretty naive to think I was the first guy that Candy had gone after.
So
she was just way too big of a flirt and way too willing, and there were just too many guys roaming the halls of the university for me to think that she'd just been biding her time on my account.
So
also, and I realised that some folks might call me naive or romantic, but I really didn't want my first time to be like this.
Oh, I see what the issue is.
I'd always fancied the kind of thing that happened either in my games or in romantic novels or whatever. Boy meets girl or vice versa. They like each other, they start going out with each other, and their relationship improves until nature takes its course. Can I just say, usually in visual novels, the main character is a cunt. This guy actually seems alright. Actually.
I mean, to the point where it's like comical.
Yeah. But this had all the feel of me just being another score for Candy. Like I was another point in some kind of game she was playing.
She actually is. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, realistically. Even worse, I was having a harder and harder time trying to think of that.
Something's getting harder.
Candy had wrapped one of her legs around my flame as I struggled with the situation. I realised she guided my hands so they were cupping a posterior that a great many guys would likely kill to get their hands on.
As soon as like someone wraps their leg around your like legs, I think like that's actually getting to creepy level.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know each other and that happens, then that's kind of like maybe that's a little weird.
Her ample breasts were pressed against my own chest with only a flimsy barrier of silk and my own shirt keeping me from experiencing them in all their glory. As the situation continued to escalate, my body and Candy continued to stumble around the lab. Right up until my heel caught on something on the floor, is he wearing heels? And my centre of gravity went over the edge. And since Candy and I were so thoroughly entwined, we both sent staggering backwards, arms flailing about as we tried to recover, only to find ourselves past the point of no return as we sent crashing to the floor.
Oh, I didn't mean for that to happen.
That's her face now. I agree with Candy. I might have given a voice to this sentiment if not for the fact that oxygen was in short supply, courtesy of the fact that her considerable breasts were pressed against my face and cutting off my ability to breathe. Ironically enough, this reality was exactly what I needed to clear my head of hormonal overload and start thinking with the stuff between my ears. Can I just say that's actually the correct use of ironically, because most people don't use ironically correctly, but that actually is ironic. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I'm sorry, I was zoning out. I was too busy suffocating in these breasts.
Oh, understandable. Grabbing Candy by her waist, I managed to push her off me enough to allow me to suck in a deep breath and then slide out from under her.
He's pretty good at that, sliding out.
Yeah. Very good. Which is all I had time.
I'm very good at sliding in.
Which was all I had time to do before the fact that I just bashed my head on the floor, started calling for my attention, prompting me to roll around on the floor and place both my hands on where a large lump was already swelling up on the back of my skull. And this is where the scene ends, by the way. So I feel that this is an appropriate moment to stop. Obviously, we've learned a lot about the world of VR today. That was an educational course.
Does the father ever come back and find them like on top of each other like
no,
this, or what?
I don't think so. I can skip ahead and see.
Go future fast mode. Well, I do like
You
a lot of
can't do
talking on that
super.
floor.
No, he doesn't. They just go on to the next bit, and that's it.
Oh, so it's just like, oh, nothing
Yeah,
worked
nothing
out.
worked out. Nothing. They just go on.
You find out the secret like lab and stuff. And it's like, damn, my distraction didn't fucking work.
He sort of like has stumbled in. He stumbles into the lab as a result of this, and then they're like, "Oh well, we may as well just show you everything anyway."
So he gets launched by her breasts into the other room,
Yeah.
essentially.
I mean, she does have nice breasts. I mean, obviously they're not realistic, but I like them. I approve of them.
Well, candy.
I want candy. I hate that song.
Licorice whip.
Oh my god.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna end the fucking video. So we hope you enjoyed this.
I feel like we've come out sweeter people from this.
We have
visual novel.
Yeah. That was Burokku Girls, or Burokku Girls, if you prefer. And
Sadly, it's not that.
no, I don't think
thing.
it is. I don't think there's even a patch to make it that either. So.
No, you have to get the Photoshop out and do it manually.
Just like smear it everywhere. What's the perfect settings to recreate jizz in Photoshop?
No, we take a little cue from Candy and just gets Photoshop some whipped cream on there.
Oh, okay.
Some whipped cream photos.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to watch inside the video game itself, head over to Manly's channel, where he'll be posting that either before or after me at some point soon. So go check it out, and I'll see you guys really soon. Bye!
Goodbye.